Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. Uh, where we like to dive deep into the stories that just keep you up at night,
Yeah.
the ones that make you double check your locks and kind of glance over your shoulder.
hmm
Well, get ready to hold your breath because today we are taking you to the heart of downtown Los Angeles, to a place shrouded in mystery and shadows, the
Ooh.
Cecil Hotel and the unsettling disappearance of Elisa Lam.
It's what makes this case so fascinating is that it's not just some, dusty old legend.
Right.
This happened in the digital age.
Yeah.
And we have this chilling piece of evidence that captured the world's attention, the elevator video.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's rewind a bit and introduce you to Elisa.
Okay, so Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student studying at the University of British Columbia.
hmm
She was a really vibrant young woman, loved blogging,
Yeah.
and was known to have bipolar disorder. She was on medication, and while her family said she had never attempted suicide before, they did say that she had recently been struggling with her mental health.
That's a crucial detail
Yeah.
because it adds another layer of complexity to this whole puzzle.
Right.
Bipolar disorder can manifest in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And understanding the range of behaviors associated with it, including the possibility of psychotic episodes,
Right.
is key to understanding all the various theories surrounding her disappearance.
So in January of 2013, Elisa decided to embark on a solo trip down the California coast, traveling by train and bus.
Wow.
She seemed to be enjoying herself sending postcards, posting updates on social media.
Living her best life.
Yeah, everything seemed totally normal.
It's like she was piecing together this travelogue of her adventures.
Great.
She visited the San Diego Zoo, explored different cities,
Yeah.
and finally on January 26th, she arrived in Los Angeles
Okay.
and checked into the Cecil Hotel.
Here we go.
And that's where things took a turn.
All right, so before we go any further, we need to talk about the Cecil Hotel.
Yes!
This wasn't just any hotel.
Oh,
This
no.
place had a reputation,
Yeah.
a dark history that stretched back decades.
Think more than just shady.
Okay.
It was notorious for attracting a very transient crowd
Yeah.
and had been linked to numerous deaths, suicides,
What?
even housed a couple of serial killers over the years.
Oh my God.
It was the kind of place that whispered secrets in the shadows.
Seriously, it was like a magnet for the macabre.
Totally.
So you can imagine why people were instantly intrigued when Elisa, this young, bright student, checked into this hotel.
And those unsettling vibes only intensified.
Yeah.
When we learned that she was initially assigned a shared room but was moved to a private room after some complaints about her behavior.
Right. Reports surfaced that she was acting strangely, leaving cryptic notes for her roommates, telling them to go home, go away, and even using a password to lock them out of the room.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It all paints a very unsettling picture, doesn't it?
It does.
Almost like she was sensing a threat or
Yeah.
felt like she needed to protect herself.
It definitely raises questions about her state of mind at the time.
Yeah.
Was this behavior linked to her bipolar disorder?
Right.
Was she experiencing paranoia or delusions?
Mm-hmm.
Or was there something more sinister at play?
These are questions that have haunted investigators and internet sleuths for years.
For years.
Now remember, Elisa was in daily contact with her parents back in Canada.
Okay.
They spoke almost every day. And everything seemed to be fine until January 31st, the day she was supposed to check out of the hotel.
And that's when the silence becomes deafening.
Yeah, her parents couldn't reach her, she didn't check out,
Right.
and suddenly this carefree trip takes a terrifying turn.
It does.
They immediately reported her missing and flew to Los Angeles to help with the search.
Oh, wow.
The police searched the hotel top to bottom, these dogs. They interviewed staff and guests, but there was no sign of Elisa.
Oh, no.
Days turned into weeks, and the mystery only deepened. And then on February 13th, the LAPD released something that would send chills down the spines of millions character. The elevator video.
This grainy black and white footage captured by the hotel's security camera quickly became a viral sensation.
I remember.
Yeah.
It shows Elisa alone in the elevator, but her behavior is anything but ordinary.
It's like watching a scene from a psychological thriller.
Right.
She's pushing all the buttons, frantically peering out into the hallway as if she's trying to avoid someone hiding in the corner and even seemingly talking and gesturing to someone who isn't there.
It's almost as if she's trapped in a nightmare, unable to escape this confined space.
And then there's the fact that the elevator doors don't seem to be closing properly.
Right.
Adding another layer of strangeness to this already bizarre scene.
You know, it's cases like these that remind you to hit that subscribe button because you never know what twist or turn is waiting for you around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back with more on the Elisa Lam case.
When we return, we'll delve into the aftermath of the video release, the theories that exploded online, and the ultimate discovery that would shock the world. The release of that elevator footage just sent shockwaves through the internet.
I bet.
It was like pouring gasoline on a fire,
Oh, yeah?
igniting this frenzy of speculation and theories. People were analyzing it, like frame by frame, trying to decipher her movements, looking for clues, for answers,
Right.
for anything that could
Yeah.
make sense of this chilling scene.
It was like the whole world became armchair detectives obsessed with solving this puzzle.
Totally.
And with the Cecil Hotel's dark history as this backdrop,
Oh, yeah.
it's no wonder that some of the theories veered into the realm of the supernatural.
Right. Some people drew comparisons to that horror film Dark Water,
Yeah.
which coincidentally also features a body found in a rooftop water tank.
So weird.
It's almost too eerie to be a coincidence.
And let's not forget the elevator game theory. Apparently there are these urban legends about secret elevator rituals. They can supposedly transport you to other dimensions.
What?
Or summon spirits.
I know it sounds far-fetched,
Yeah.
but you have to remember this case unfolded online.
Right.
In a space where rumors and speculation just spread like wildfire.
Totally.
And the idea that Elisa might have been playing one of these games and somehow got trapped or transported to another realm.
That's crazy.
I know, but it tapped into that collective desire to find an explanation,
Yeah.
even a supernatural one,
Yeah.
for something that seems so inexplicable.
It's like our brains crave a narrative,
They do.
even if it means venturing into the unknown.
Totally.
But while the internet was buzzing with all these theories, the investigation was still ongoing.
Right.
And then on February 19th came the devastating discovery that would send a chill through even the most skeptical observer.
Guests at the hotel had been complaining about low water pressure and discolored water. And it was a maintenance worker who, while investigating the source of the problem, stumbled upon this horrifying sight.
Elisa's body was found inside one of the 4 massive water tanks on the roof of the hotel.
The tank had to be drained and cut open to retrieve her body.
Oh my gosh.
It was a gruesome scene, and the details only deepened the mystery.
What do you mean?
Elisa was found naked, her clothes were floating in the water,
Okay.
and the lid to the tank was open.
What? The lid was open?
Yeah,
How is that even possible?
I know.
Those tanks were huge. With heavy lids that would be incredibly difficult to close from the inside.
That detail, more than anything, fueled the flames of speculation.
Of course.
How did she get onto the locked roof?
Right.
How did she get into the tank? And how could she have possibly closed the lid behind her?
It just doesn't add up, and then the autopsy report revealed even more unsettling details.
While the official cause of death was ruled accidental drowning with bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor, there were some puzzling elements.
Like what?
Well, besides her prescribed medication, there were no traces of drugs or alcohol in her system. And while the autopsy couldn't definitively confirm or deny sexual assault because of the state of decomposition,
Right.
there was no evidence of a physical trauma that would suggest foul play.
So accidental drowning, but with a giant question mark hanging over it.
Exactly. Even with the autopsy report, the circumstances surrounding her death remained baffling.
Yeah.
The question of how she got onto the roof into the tank and whether or not she was alone continued to haunt investigators.
Okay, but if it wasn't foul play, how do we explain the open lid?
Right.
Could she have been experiencing a psychotic episode related to her bipolar disorder?
Possibly.
Could that explain her erratic behavior?
It's possible during a manic episode, people with bipolar disorder can experience delusions, hallucinations, and impaired judgment. It's not uncommon for them to engage in risky or impulsive behavior.
So are we saying that she might have wandered onto the roof, somehow climbed into the tank, and then drowned?
It's a theory that some experts have proposed,
Okay.
but it doesn't address all the questions.
Right.
The logistics of her getting into the tank, especially considering its height, and the difficulty of closing the lid from the inside remain incredibly challenging to explain.
So we're back to square one.
Kinda.
A tragic death, a mountain of unanswered questions, and a mystery that refuses to be solved.
And that's what makes the Elisa Lam case so enduringly fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a chilling reminder that even in the age of technology and surveillance, some secrets remain hidden. Some stories resist easy explanations.
So we've explored the timeline, the evidence, the official ruling.
Right.
But let's be honest, the official explanation just doesn't sit right with a lot of people.
It doesn't.
There are just too many unanswered questions, too many loose ends.
It's like trying to piece together a jigsaw puzzle where half the pieces are missing.
Yeah.
You can see the outlines of an image, but the full picture remains elusive.
Exactly. So where do we go from here? I mean, if we can't fully accept the accidental drowning theory,
Yeah.
what are we left with?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because in the absence of a clear and satisfying explanation, the void is often filled with speculation,
Right.
with alternative theories, and sometimes even with the whispers of conspiracy.
Okay, so let's dive into some of those alternative theories.
Right.
We've already touched on the elevator game and the comparisons to the movie Dark Water.
Right.
But what about the possibility of foul play?
Yeah.
Could Elisa have been murdered?
It's a theory that can't be easily dismissed.
Right.
The Cecil Hotel, with its grim history, certainly provides a fertile ground for that kind of speculation.
Yeah.
And the fact that the roof was locked and the lid to the water tank was found open only adds to the suspicion.
And let's not forget the missing footage from the elevator camera.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
The LAPD only released a portion of the video.
Right.
And some people believe that the missing footage might contain crucial clues, perhaps even revealing the presence of another person in the elevator with Elisa.
The missing footage has become a sort of Rorschach test for this case, with people projecting their own interpretations and theories onto it.
Yeah.
Was there a cover-up? Was someone else involved?
Right.
These questions continue to fuel the conspiracy theories that swirl around Elisa's death.
And then there's the issue of the hotel staff.
Yeah.
Some people have pointed to inconsistencies in their statements and questioned whether or not they were fully cooperative with the investigation.
That's a common thread in a lot of these high-profile mysteries.
Yeah.
People want to believe that someone somewhere knows more than they're letting on.
Right.
It's that desire for a neat and tidy explanation for a villain to blame that often drives these conspiracy theories.
But let's be clear. There's no concrete evidence to support any of these claims.
Right.
We're venturing into the realm of speculation, of connecting dots that may not actually exist.
That's the danger of falling down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the intrigue, to start seeing patterns where there are none. But without solid evidence, it's all just conjecture.
So where does that leave us?
Yeah.
We have an official ruling that doesn't fully satisfy.
Yeah.
We have alternative theories that lack concrete evidence.
Right.
And we have a mystery that continues to grip our collective imagination.
And perhaps that's the most unsettling aspect of the Elisa Lam case.
What do you mean?
It's a story that resists closure, a puzzle with missing pieces. A reminder that sometimes, even in the age of information and technology, some secrets remain stubbornly hidden.
It's a case that forces us to confront the limits of our understanding,
It does.
to acknowledge that there are things in this world that we may never fully comprehend.
And maybe that's the takeaway here. The Elisa Lam case isn't just about a tragic death.
Right.
It's about the enduring power of mystery, the allure of the unknown, and the unsettling realization that sometimes there are no easy answers.
So what do you think happened to Elisa Lam?
I don't...
Was it a tragic accident, a sinister act, or something even stranger? We may never know for sure.
Right.
But what we do know is that her story continues to resonate, to spark debate, and to remind us that sometimes the most unsettling mysteries are those that remain unsolved.
They are.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Elisa Lam case. Be sure to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told As podcast for more explorations into the dark and fascinating corners of our world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep telling those stories.